This represents the clutter behind an average beginner editor's workflow. Too much stuff, too many tools, too many decisions happening before a single frame gets cut. And throughout this video, every bad habit that we break down, something comes off of this desk. Bad habit number 1 starts before you even open up Premiere Pro. You've got a vision, full video in your head, cinematic cuts, a clean color grade, the whole 9 yards. So you sit down, get to work, watch it back, and it just looks bad. Something feels off. So you add more LUTs, film grain, a vignette, that color preset that you bought just last month. Still looks bad. Because here's the bad habit that nobody catches early on enough. You cannot edit your way out of bad footage. And I'm not saying this on a high horse or anything here. About 5 or 6 years ago, I was shooting on an iPhone 6. Not one of the new iPhone cameras with actual good tech in it, but just an iPhone 6. And I remember sitting there color grading this footage and playing with denoise, wondering why it didn't look like the creators that I would watch every day. I mean, yeah, of course it didn't. I can laugh about it now, but honestly, making that mistake is how I removed myself from this bad habit. Your edit starts before you even open your editing software. It starts with the pre-production. Your shot, your lighting, your audio. If you fix those first, everything in post just gets easier. Once your footage problem is solved, most editors just run straight into the next bad habit. And this one's a little sneakier because sometimes you might see it as effort. When you don't trust your edit, your natural instinct is to just add a bunch of shit on top of it. Motion blur, glitch effects, zoom transitions every 3 seconds. That one sound effect pack you throw on everything. I mean, none of these are bad on their own. When they're used with intention in the right context, they work. But that's the word that I mean. Intentional. When you see a beginner edit stacked with graphics and a bunch of effects everywhere every other second, that just comes across as insecurity. And I'm not trying to be insulting. This doesn't mean a lack of skill, just a sense of insecurity behind your edit. It means that you just don't think that the clean cut is enough. So an editor will pile on until it gets louder and louder, and for a regular viewer, that eventually becomes exhausting to watch. Go study the editors you actually like watching. Try and learn techniques and timing from them. Watch with your editor brain on. Take down notes and notice how comfortable they are within empty space, how rarely something flashy shows up on screen. And when it does, it lands because it's not being repeated every 5 seconds of the video. Simple isn't lazy. Simple means you trust the work. Hey, really quick, if you're watching this and it's helping, please be sure to subscribe. It actually helps the channel out a lot. I appreciate it. Back to the video. Alright, now here's a bad habit before the edit even starts. And it's one that'll eventually cost you real money. There's this belief, and YouTube ads are partly responsible, that the right LUT pack or the right preset bundle is the only thing standing between you and a good video. So people buy film convert, motion array packs, transition bundles, color science presets, promising to make your footage look like it was shot on a red camera. And then you'll see some editors use them all at the same time in one go. You see, when you buy a preset, think of it as you're borrowing someone else's vision. And if you don't understand why they made that decision, what purpose was the effect for, you can't really adapt it when it doesn't fit. There's no point in just slapping it on and hoping. Editors who build real skill learn to make those decisions themselves first. They understand what their color grade should be doing before they even start looking at LUT packs. And then when they do eventually find one, they just use that as a starting point. Only buy tools that you know what you're buying them for, and definitely not before that. This next bad habit is actually subtle because it feels like you're being productive while you're creating it. And that's exactly what makes it dangerous. And I call this bad habit the complexity theater. You open someone's timeline and it looks like air traffic control. 50 tracks, non-color coded bins nobody's touched in months, nests inside nests, a folder system that takes longer to navigate than the actual edit. They'll call it organization, but it's not. A clean timeline is faster to work in, faster to revise, and faster to hand off. The whole point of your workflow and organization is to get it out of your face, and to not build a system so elaborate that it absorbs the project in it itself. I've got a full video on project organization if you want the full deep dive. I'll link it below. But the principle is simple. If your timeline stresses you out just by looking at it, it's too complicated. And now, the last bad habit. Well, not really, but this is just one thing that editors I find don't do enough. Like everything we've talked about in this video so far is either about removing or avoiding habits that can be found set on early. But this one's about building a habit, but the right way. Some beginner editors will see a trending edit style, then try to copy it, and it just doesn't land. And they don't understand why. It's because they're mimicking something that they just don't understand. Here's what you should actually do. Study the creators inside of your specific niche. Not just your favorite creators, but your specific niche. The editing language for a gaming channel is completely different from like a travel vlog. A fitness channel cuts differently from a tech review. What works in one context looks completely different in another. So there's no universal answer that I can give you because it changes from every single project that you're working on. So I say find 2 or 3 creators in a similar lane and watch their videos like an editor, not like a viewer. Begin to ask yourself, why did they cut here? Why is this shot held so long? Why is there no music in this moment? Stylistic things that make a difference. So sit down and watch a bunch of videos and take actual notes. Open up your notepad or pen and paper. Who cares? Reverse engineer the timeline inside your head. Doing this helps you build real instincts while editing, not by copying other creators' look, but by understanding the logic behind it. Bang. And just like that, 5 bad habits and a full clear desk to start working in, with absolutely no clutter. Be sure to drop a comment, and again, if this helped, please be sure to subscribe. It really helps out. And most importantly, nothing matters more than just these 5 words. The rest are just tools.